Number 1. The world's largest economy collapses. Venezuela was once considered one of the wealthiest countries in the world, with the leading economy in South America and ranking 4th globally in terms of per capita GDP. During its golden age, the lives of the people were even said to surpass Switzerland, as evidenced by their consumption levels, vehicles, and luxurious lifestyles. The main cause is oil. Venezuela possesses over 303 billion barrels of oil, each barrel containing 150 liters, with an estimated total value of 24 trillion USD, nearly equal to the GDP of the United States. This is a vast resource that has made Venezuela an oil giant, and once put it on the global economic map like winning the lottery. Caracas at that time was nicknamed the Paris of South America. The streets were bustling with luxury cars. Restaurants were brightly lit all night, people wore suits and evening gowns, and dining out felt like living in the heart of Hollywood. American and European goods fill supermarkets, and the middle class considers a vacation in Miami commonplace. The city became a symbol of luxury and prosperity, admired by many countries in the region. However, the economy is not sustainable. In just 6 years, from 2014 to 2020, Venezuela's GDP fell by over 99%, from 482 billion USD to under 60 billion USD, a record decline in South American history. The cause began with Hugo Chávez's policies when he came to power in 1999. He nationalized the oil industry, expelled foreign companies, and implemented large social programs, distributing free money, housing, and food, entirely based on oil revenue. As world oil prices plummeted, the economy, which was solely dependent on oil, collapsed rapidly. The government is running out of money, printing money recklessly, and triggering a terrible hyperinflation crisis. According to the IMF, inflation reached 10 million% in 2019. $1 buys millions of bolivars, making essential items like a roll of toilet paper cost 2.5 million, a pack of diapers 8 million, and a pound of beef 9 million, just over 1.5 USD. The currency devalued to the point where people had to weigh money instead of counting it. On the streets of Caracas and other cities, bills are scattered on the ground like dry leaves, trampled and forgotten. Some creators turn them into handbags, wallets, paper flowers, selling them to tourists for a few US dollars. In the context of a crisis, the US dollar becomes the only currency that retains its value, even more valuable than gold. Number 2. Kingdom of Beauty. Today, Venezuelan women are embracing healthy and natural beauty, choosing to exercise, eat well, and love their bodies, rather than sacrificing their health to chase the perfect ideal once promoted on stage and in the media. This new wave is in stark contrast to the era when sacrifice and pain were considered the keys to beauty. Venezuela is known as the country with the most beautiful women in the world, having won a total of nearly 30 international awards, including 7 Miss Universe crowns, 6 Miss World titles, and 9 Miss International titles. Their beauty is a delicate blend of Latin charm, American sweetness, and a touch of proud confidence. Venezuelan women are renowned for their honey-toned skin, balanced features, deep eyes, thick, lustrous hair, and radiant smiles, making them global beauty icons. Across the country, there are over 20 beauty pageant training academies where contestants receive comprehensive training in everything from catwalk, makeup, English, dating skills, communication, stage presence, and etiquette. Their motto is very clear: no pain, no gain. Many middle-class families prioritize investing in beauty pageants over university, believing that even if their daughters don't win the crown, they will still be confident, have status, and have the opportunity to change their lives. To meet the standard of beauty queen, many girls have to endure severe consequences. Some people start cosmetic surgery at 12 years old, and breast augmentation at 16 is considered a common birthday gift. On average, each woman spends about 20% of her income on cosmetics and beauty services. Each month, Venezuela performs up to 4,000 cosmetic surgeries, a rate among the highest in the world. Some parents even inject their children with hormones to delay puberty, believing that slower development will help their children grow taller and meet international standards. Despite doctors' warning of the risks of osteoporosis, hormonal disorders, and infertility, many families remain steadfast. If natural beauty doesn't come, they have to create it themselves. There was even an extreme weight loss method, tongue sewing, which allowed the person to eat only milk and thin porridge, resulting in a weight loss of up to 15 kilos in a month. Some even self-inject insulin or thyroid hormones to burn energy quickly, despite the risk of hypoglycemia and serious cardiovascular damage. Number 3. The world's most malnourished children. The current minimum wage in Venezuela is only 130 bolivars, which is less than $1 for a whole month of work. Meanwhile, inflation remains at 172% and is expected to reach 190% by the end of the year. The bolivar has almost completely lost its real value in daily life. The government has kept this salary level unchanged since 2022, arguing that raising wages is pointless because prices are rising faster than the amount of money being printed. Government employees only receive a few small allowances, a few $dozen for economic war bonuses, plus $40 for food subsidies and other allowances. In total, an average worker earns about $50 to $00 per month, while the minimum cost to maintain a full meal has exceeded $500. Over 80% of the population lives in poverty, many families have to cut back to one meal a day, and thousands of children drop out of school because they can't afford tuition or uniforms. The crisis worsened as international aid declined sharply. In 2025, the World Food Programme, WFP, was forced to halve the scale of its support in Venezuela. More than 350,000 children who previously received daily school meals are no longer being helped. In many regions, malnutrition and school dropout rates have increased sharply, as many children previously only had their one meal of the day at school. Not only poverty, but people also have to live in constant darkness. In Caracas, even high-end restaurants can plunge into darkness mid-meal, with staff instinctively grabbing candles, flashlights, and mini generators to use. In residential areas, dinner takes place under the light of rechargeable lamps or phones. Some poor households modify motorcycle batteries to run fans, hoping to find a little breeze on hot nights. In rural areas, electricity can be cut off for up to 10 hours a day. Students study by oil lamp, and small businesses close early because they can't preserve food. Only the wealthy have an escape ticket thanks to private generators or solar power systems. They still have light, refrigerators, and fans, while the rest of the country is plunged into darkness. Number 4. Strange things in Venezuela. In Venezuela, the first thing that surprises visitors is not flushing toilet paper down the toilet. The old plumbing system makes this easily clogged, so people throw paper in the trash can next to it. Only when they went abroad did they realize how strange that habit was. The Venezuelan government also strictly controls the sale and consumption of alcohol during special occasions such as Holy Week or elections. Police have the right to check, confiscate drinks, and revoke business licenses if there are violations. Tourists carrying an unopened bottle of wine during a prohibition period can still be fined. Here, rules and emotions always go hand in hand, where discipline doesn't diminish vitality. Venezuelans love emotion. Kissing, hugging, or holding hands in public is not considered offensive, but rather an expression of sincere love. If a couple doesn't show affection, others might think the relationship is in trouble. Older couples would smile approvingly when they saw young couples kissing. In contrast to that openness, they consider it impolite to ask about income or spending. Emotions are more important than money, but talking about skin color is completely comfortable. The words negro or negrito, which originally mean black person, are used as affectionate nicknames between friends, lovers, or relatives. The way people dress in Venezuela also reflects their status and self-respect. Wrinkled shorts, tank tops, or flip-flops might get you refused service at some stores. Despite the power outage, they still brush their hair, put on lipstick, and iron their clothes. A survey shows that 87% of Venezuelans judge others by their clothing, and don't choose yellow for the interview because it's an unlucky color. Finally, religion is highly valued. Over 70% of the population is Catholic, so if you are an atheist or follow a different faith, avoid mentioning it during your first meeting. In a country that is both strict and warm, the most surprising thing is not the rules, but the way they transform small details into the essence of national sentiment and pride. Number 5. The world's most mysterious tribes. Deep in the Amazon rainforest, there still exists a tribe almost completely isolated from the world, the Hodi. They only have about 1,200 to 2,000 people left, scattered across the state of Amazonas, near the Brazilian border. The Hodi people do not have fixed villages, are divided into small groups of 20 to 50 people and live in large malokas. Each house contains 10 to 30 people with a communal fireplace in the center, which is used for cooking, heating, and community gatherings. The Hodi people live off the land. They grow bananas, cassava, corn, hunt monkeys, birds, and fish, and gather wild fruits seasonally. From a young age, children learn to distinguish animal tracks, shoot arrows, dig for roots, and listen to the sounds of the forest as a sacred language. Hodi society has no leaders or laws. Everyone is equal. Women cared for crops and children, while men hunted and protected the community. Marriage happens naturally, without a wedding ceremony or dowry. When children reach adulthood, the community organizes a ritual of integration with the forest. The children had to live alone for many days in the forest, relying only on the survival skills they had learned, marking their true integration into nature. Death is not the end. When someone passes away, the body is taken into the forest, where the earth and trees will nourish the soul again. The old village is abandoned, and people don't mention the names of the deceased, believing that saying their names will cause their souls to get lost. Death is a return to the forest, dissolving into the earth, the wind, and the breath of the Amazon. The word cannibal comes from the name of the Carib tribe on the northern coast of Venezuela. When Columbus arrived in the Caribbean in the late 15th century, he heard stories of the Caribs attacking and eating other tribes. Some sailors even claim to have seen them cooking their enemies in large pots, spreading rumors throughout Europe. From Carib, the Spanish misread it as Kiba, which then morphed into cannibal. However, there is no clear evidence that the Caribs actually practiced cannibalism. Many historians believe those actions were purely symbolic rituals. They represent strength, fighting spirit, and loyalty to the tribe, not actual cannibalism. It was from that misunderstanding that a terrifying legend was created and has persisted for centuries. Number 6. Shocking things in Venezuela. Music is the soul of Venezuela. Despite the crisis and power outages, music still plays 24 hours a day, from reggaeton and salsa to folk music. In labor areas, people bring loudspeakers out onto the sidewalks. When the power goes out, they use battery-powered speakers or phones to play music, creating a lively atmosphere even in the darkness. Music is not just for entertainment, but also a way to fight silence and maintain a spirit of survival amidst difficulties. Venezuelans have an almost superstitious passion for the lottery. In the context of inflation, unemployment, and scarcity, the tickets became a symbol of hope that a lucky day could change one's destiny. The most popular game is Triple, a 3-digit lottery drawn up to 3 times a day, which is a topic of discussion not only at home, but also on the streets, in cafes, and even on social media. Lottery tickets are sold every place, from grocery stores and newsstands to street vendors. They don't choose numbers randomly, but based on spiritual science. If they have bad luck, they play the black number. If they see a strange license plate, it's a good omen. If they dream of acquaintances, animals, or accidents, they consult a dream interpretation chart to convert it into a number. Many radio stations share number selection tips from lucky experts. Hundreds of Facebook groups were created to discuss the results daily, turning number predictions into a community activity where people shared their hopes and dreams in a country full of uncertainty. Body language can also make tourists feel awkward. The OK hand gesture is considered vulgar, and a thumbs up means go away in many regions. The quickest thing tourists learn is to smile friendly and avoid using hand gestures to integrate with the local culture. Time in Venezuela operates according to its own rules. If you say 7 o'clock, people will arrive at 7:30 or 8 o'clock. They call it the Venezuelan hora. This culture originated during the colonial era when people lived according to the rhythm of the sun. Today, this habit still exists, reminding us that Venezuelans cherish the moment and enjoy life rather than racing against the clock. Time is meant to be enjoyed, not raced against, reflecting an optimistic and leisurely spirit amidst change. Have you ever won the lottery? Leave a comment and share your lucky story with the community. Number 7. Surreal, beautiful places. Angel Falls is the world's highest waterfall, nearly 1,000 meters tall, which is 10 times higher than Niagara Falls. Hidden deep within the Amazon rainforest, this place is considered a symbol of natural perfection. The water from the top of Ollantaytambo, which is over 2,500 meters high, plunges into the valley, but most of it evaporates in midair, creating a thick mist and vibrant rainbows year-round. This sight left many photographers and explorers gasping in amazement when they witnessed it with their own eyes. The falls were discovered by American pilot Jimmy Angel in the 1930s when his plane got lost during a gold-seeking expedition. The waterfall named after him commemorates a discovery that changed the map of the natural world. Today, Angel Falls is also a dream destination for those who want to experience the wilderness. Many tourist groups have to hike through the jungle and sleep in makeshift shelters to get as close as possible to the wall of water. The journey to Angel Falls is a test of perseverance. Visitors must travel by boat upstream on the Churon River for hours, cross dense jungle, camp overnight, and only at dawn will they see the giant wall of water cascading down from the sky. This is a memorable trip where people experience the power and solitude of nature. The waterfall is located in Canaima National Park, one of the largest national parks in the world, covering an area of over 30,000 km², which is nearly the size of Belgium. These giant flat rock formations, dating back over 2 billion years, are considered living witnesses to Earth's history. Lake Cana reflects the bronze hues from natural minerals, and 7 other small waterfalls cascading from the surrounding red cliffs create a symphony of intensity and tranquility, where every step makes you feel the majesty of nature. Sitting in a wooden boat, drifting through the cool mist on your face, listening to the sound of the waterfall blending with the wind and the forest, you'll understand why Angel Falls is called the heart of Venezuela's nature. Here, the pristine and sacred beauty remains untouched, just as it was at the beginning of time, and has become a place for people to reconnect deeply with nature. Number 8. Nightlife. In rural Venezuela, when the house is too hot, people bring chairs outside to catch the breeze. They gathered under the moonlight, played dominoes, grilled meat over charcoal, and chatted endlessly with their neighbors as if the long night was a time for community. No need for bars or neon lights, just the crackling fire and laughter, but that atmosphere brought a stronger sense of connection than any party ever could. Despite the economic crisis and constant power outages, nightlife in Venezuela remains vibrant and full of life. In labor camps and slums, as the sun sets, people pull chairs onto the sidewalks, set up speakers, and play music. Without electricity, they used flashlights, candles, or battery-powered LED strip lights for illumination, transforming the small street into an outdoor stage. The rhythms of reggaeton, salsa, and merengue blended with laughter, creating an indomitable energy that made people forget their temporary difficulties. Sometimes, it's the collective drumming, singing, and smiles that help them maintain hope and the belief that life goes on. Young people in the slums gather on street corners, passing around cheap drinks, dancing, and chatting until late at night. Music, light, and laughter blended together to create a vibrant symphony, a street festival regardless of the darkness and unrest surrounding it. Meanwhile, the middle class has its own nightlife. They gather in gated apartment complexes, where small bars and lounges operate discreetly. Inside, a DJ, cocktails, and a backup generator keep the music playing non-stop. Despite the chaos outside, inside it remains a separate world where people find a few hours of peace amidst the crisis and enjoy quiet luxury. Night food is the soul of Venezuelan nightlife. In Caracas or Maracaibo, street vendors operate until late at night, selling crispy fried empanadas, icy rice chicha, sandwiches, and fries. At night markets like Los Mercedes or Altamira, young people gather to eat, listen to live music, dance, and watch street performances, transforming the street into a vibrant outdoor stage. And for those who prefer a more peaceful atmosphere, the old town of El Hatillo or the city of Coro are perfect choices. The red-tiled roofs, cobblestone streets, and yellow streetlights reflecting on the walls create a nostalgic and serene beauty. Along Lake Maracaibo or the Orinoco River, you might occasionally see wooden boats drifting silently through the night. Number 9. Unique festivals. The Los Zaragozas de Sanare Festival takes place every year on December 28th, originating from the Catholic tradition of the Feast of the Holy Innocents, which commemorates the children killed by King Herod according to the Bible. The festival takes place only once a year in the town of Sanare, where every street, house, and square becomes a stage for a collective explosion of color, sound, and joy. People believe that the sound of drums and laughter can dispel sorrow and bring hope to the community. On the morning of the festival, the town transforms into a sea of vibrant and chaotic colors. Hundreds of people dressed as madmen, Los Zaragozas, wearing white masks with red borders, colorful clothing, and jumping through the streets to the beat of Afro-Venezuelan drums. The drum beat is the heartbeat of sorrow, while the dance symbolizes joy, replacing tears. The Senare people believe that when the drum beat stops, sadness will dissipate, and the community will once again feel a sense of spiritual connection. Also embodying the spirit of blending religious and folk traditions, the Dancing Devils Festival, Diablos Danzantes de Yare, is held in the town of San Francisco de Yara, Miranda State, on the feast of Corpus Christi. This is Venezuela's oldest religious tradition, recognized by UNESCO as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity in 2012. During the festival, hundreds of people dress up as devils, wear red masks with horns, wear colorful costumes, and dance through the streets. The procession is not only a ritual, but also a living artistic performance, where demons represent darkness and the Eucharist represents light. Finally, the demonic army knelt before the Eucharist, signifying the triumph of light. People believe that each devil mask carries the soul of the wearer, and when that person dies, the mask is passed down to the next generation, connecting faith, memory, and culture. By February each year, the El Callao Carnival transforms the city of El Callao into a sea of people, music, and color. Originating from the cultural blend of Caribbean, African, and European immigrants, the festival blends calypso, steel drums, and soca rhythms. People paraded in magnificent costumes, wearing giant feather hats, and singing in English and Creole. Number 10. Rich cuisine. If there's one dish that represents Venezuelan cuisine, it's the arepa, a round flatbread made from white or yellow cornmeal, present at every meal from morning till night. They are baked or deep-fried, cut in half, and stuffed inside. What's special about arepas isn't just the recipe, but also the limitless creativity of Venezuelans in how they combine fillings. From cheese, shredded beef, and chicken with butter, to seafood or black beans, each variation tells its own regional story. If arepa is the national bread, then pabellón criollo is the soul of Venezuelan cuisine. The dish consists of shredded beef cooked in tomato sauce, white rice, stewed black beans, and thinly sliced fried bananas, creating a symphony of flavors and cultures. The three colors of white, black, and gold on the plate not only create an aesthetic, but are also a cultural symbol, reminiscent of the blending of three civilizations: European, African, and indigenous. The most famous variation is reina pepiada, an arepa filled with chicken, mashed avocado, and mayonnaise, named after Miss Venezuela Susana Duiem, the first Venezuelan to be crowned Miss World in 1955. In the capital, Caracas, arepa shops are open 24 hours a day, proving that for Venezuelans, any time is an opportunity to enjoy their homeland's iconic bread. Walking along the streets of Caracas or Maracaibo, you'll see small stalls selling chicha, a drink made from rice, milk, and cinnamon, topped with a layer of sweet condensed milk. Venezuelans enjoy it by licking the milk layer off the rim of the glass, as a fun ritual that reflects the innocent, free-spirited nature and love for simple pleasures in their culinary culture. When the meal is finished, quesillo is a must-have dessert. It's a smooth, flan-like treat made from eggs, condensed milk, and brown sugar caramel. Quesillo is present at most family gatherings, birthdays, and festivals. Number 11. Mysterious places. In the Mene Mauroa region of Falcon State, Venezuela, archaeologists have discovered dozens of basalt stone statues up to 2 meters tall, dating back over 200 years. Anno Domini according to the carbon-14 method. What's particularly special is that they don't belong to any known culture in South America, leading scholars to hypothesize about a completely lost civilization. They are crafted from extremely hard volcanic basalt, requiring sophisticated carving techniques far beyond the capabilities of the indigenous civilization's tools at that time. The first person to record this discovery was archaeologist Eduardo Zafra in the late 1950s. He believes the statues may have come from a civilization that disappeared millennia before the arrival of the Caribs. The carvings on the statue depict a giant human head, deep-set eyes, and disproportionate body, evoking ancient religious rituals, the image of an ancestral deity, or protective totems for the soul. Some other hypotheses suggest that these are totems symbolizing power and protecting the souls of the dead. There were no traces of burials, tools, or settlements around the excavation area, making Mene Mauroa one of Venezuela's most mysterious and challenging archaeological enigmas. Scholars still debate, is this a forgotten legacy or evidence of a South American Atlantis, a civilization that once flourished and then disappeared without a trace. Similarly, in the upper reaches of the Orinoco River, in the 1970s, many indigenous villages completely disappeared overnight, without any trace of fire, migration, or war, leading nearby residents to believe that the river swallowed them. This saying has been passed down through generations as a warning from nature. Some geologists propose the phenomenon of riverbed subsidence, where soil is washed away due to hydrological fluctuations in the groundwater. However, modern satellite imagery does not show significant changes in terrain. At night, many people still hear the sound of drums, singing, and spirit calls echoing from the riverbed. Today, the Orinoco River, which is over 2,140 km long, is still called the Living River, a place where people believe nature has its own soul and memory. Perhaps those villages didn't disappear, but were swallowed by the pristine mangrove forest, leaving behind mysteries that science has never deciphered and becoming living legends in the collective imagination. Number 12. When Heaven Collapses. Petare, the largest slum in Venezuela, covers over 13 kilometers and is home to approximately 400,000 to 500,000 people. Located east of the capital Caracas, it rises on a maze of steep hillsides, forming a labyrinth of houses stacked high and low, reflecting the creative resilience of its poor residents. Although officially on the city map, Petare is not actually controlled by the government, but by armed gangs. As night falls, the police almost dare not set foot here because this place operates under its own laws, the laws of guns, fear, and unspoken rules that only the residents understand. But amidst the chaos, life still goes on. In the narrow alleys, people set up fruit stalls, barbershops, and small eateries. Children attend makeshift community classes, and families connect their own electricity and water, creating a spontaneous urban landscape that still functions smoothly like a miniature city. Petare is called the Second Caracas. It has schools, markets, churches, and a spontaneous subway system, existing separately from the center just a few kilometers away. Not far from Petare is El Helicoide, a bizarre and contrasting symbol of the Venezuelan dream. Built in the 1950s, it was once expected to be South America's most modern shopping center, with a 7-story spiral design allowing cars to drive directly up to each store. The project failed and was abandoned, but it still amazes people with its bold architectural vision. Since 1985, the government has converted the abandoned building into the headquarters of the Cuban Security Agency, and since then, it has become a secret prison in the heart of the capital. Many journalists, activists, and dissidents are held here without trial. Torture, solitary confinement, and disappearances have transformed El Helicoide into a symbol of fear and dark power, while also serving as a warning about the consequences of political and social crises. Today, El Helicoide is no longer a symbol of the future, but rather the shadow of power, while Petare, despite its poverty and chaos, remains a place where ordinary people fight every day to survive, build community, and dream of light. Living here is an art of survival, where mental strength is more important than any material possession. Number 13. Strange symbols in Venezuela. The Catatumbo lightning phenomenon occurs at the mouth of the Catatumbo River, which flows into Lake Maracaibo in western Venezuela. This is one of the most unique and rare meteorological phenomena in the world, occurring on over 200 nights each year, lasting from 8 to 10 hours per night, with approximately 280 lightning strikes per hour, nearly 5 strikes per minute. The light is so strong that locals can read or fish at night without any artificial light source. Venezuelans call this place God's Lighthouse because the light has never gone out for centuries, illuminating the entire lake region like a natural beacon. Since colonial times, sailors have relied on lightning flashes to navigate their ships in the dark, avoiding dangerous waters and the mangrove forests surrounding Lake Maracaibo. Scientists have been studying this phenomenon for over 50 years, but have still not determined the exact cause. Some hypotheses suggest that methane gas rising from swamps mixes with humid air to create ideal conductive conditions. Others propose that the surrounding Andes Mountains trap the wind, generating continuous convection. Sometimes lightning disappears for months, then returns stronger, as if an invisible force is protecting this natural light. For the people of Venezuela, Catatumbo is a symbol of vitality and hope. In a country experiencing crisis, that lightning bolt is like the only light that never goes out, representing hope and the indomitable will of humanity. Hundreds of kilometers south, in the village of El Paso, Another phenomenon chills visitors. The entire village is filled with life-sized cloth dolls, placed in front of houses, on porches, in grocery stores, or on park benches. Each doll bears the face, clothing, and gestures of those who have passed away, creating a sense that is both vivid and eerie. As the migration wave exploded, millions of Venezuelans left their homeland to seek other opportunities for life. Those who stayed sewed dolls to fill the void left by loved ones, placing them where they used to sit so that the village space would retain the image of the past. At night, the moonlight shines down on the doll town, creating a gentle yet awe-inspiring scene, as if memories are coming back to life in the form of fabric. Number 14. Extremely low cost of living. When planning a trip to Venezuela, researching living costs beforehand is crucial to help you prepare financially and avoid surprises in a country with significant economic fluctuations. In the capital, Caracas, a one-bedroom apartment in the center rents for approximately $300 to $450 USD per month. The suburbs are cheaper, only $50 to $50, suitable for travelers who want to save money. Public transportation in Caracas is quite cheap. A subway ride costs between 0.05 and 0.1 USD. Buses and carpooling are popular with the locals. Taxis or ride-hailing apps cost between 2 and 4 USD for short trips. If you want freedom, renting a private car costs around 30 to 45 USD per day, but you need to consider fuel and road conditions. Food costs are reasonable. Cooking for yourself costs about 100 to 150 USD per month. A simple meal costs to $3, while a high-end restaurant or tourist area costs $8 to $5. The total cost of living if you live frugally is about $500, 700 USD month, including housing, food, and transportation. With a minimalist lifestyle, you can spend just $400 a month and still enjoy life. Compared to many South American countries, Venezuela is a low-cost destination where you can live comfortably on less than $0 a day, amidst cities that are both bustling and full of contrasts. Number 15. Advice for travelers. In Venezuela, many scams targeting tourists begin with people posing as police or security personnel. They wore fake uniforms and approached people on the street to check their personal documents or wallets. To avoid falling into a trap, absolutely do not give your real passport to anyone unless you are in a government office with a clear sign. If asked to check your papers, calmly offer to go to the nearest police station for verification. Pickpocketing and bag snatching are also common in markets, bus stations, and major tourist attractions. They often work in teams, with one person distracting while the other strikes. The safest way is to use a crossbody bag with a zipper. Always wear it in front of you, and don't keep your phone or wallet in your back pocket. In particular, don't hold your camera, phone, or laptop out in the open while walking or sitting outdoors. Just a second of carelessness, and your belongings could disappear in an instant. In Caracas and Maracaibo, serious crimes like kidnapping or armed robbery still occur. Tourists are advised to avoid slums, narrow alleys, and deserted areas, even during the day. If you want to explore beyond the famous tourist spots, you should go with a licensed local guide who knows the area well and can help you avoid danger. When traveling, you shouldn't hail taxis on the street. Many robberies occur from these fake vehicles. Instead, book a ride through a reputable app like Ridery or ask your hotel to call a taxi for you. If you are forced to travel at night, inform hotel staff or relatives of your route. Venezuela is a land of wild beauty and profound contrasts, where the world's highest waterfall coexists with sprawling slums and where lively music plays amidst power outages. And in that context, safety is the first ticket you need to have to begin any journey, well,